What's up, YouTube? Today we're going to take a quick look at a product that I've been evaluating for wow, a couple months now. Interesting little product from a company called Laserlyte in Cottonwood, Arizona. It's from basically their training or education line. Really cool stuff. It's actually going to be a star of a couple videos with us as we go back into our marksmanship fundamental video series. We're going to be using these extensively in the trigger control episodes, stuff like that. Actually, my 10-year-old son is also way off into this stuff, so he's going to be a star of a couple of those videos as well. But anyway, let's get to the bench and take a look at the products, and I'll let you guys know what we got. Thanks. All right, folks. Well, what we're looking at here are the LT-TT Trigger Tyme training pistol from Laserlyte, as well as their Reaction Time Target Trainer system. Like I said earlier in the intro, really cool, man. Really cool little part. So I'll do a quick unboxing and we'll talk a little bit about it on the way through so you guys understand what's going on with these things. So basically you have a blue gun. You know, much like's been seen in training for years and years now. But the one thing that Laserlyte did with this blue gun is, as you can see, it's weighted, so it actually has the heft or the feel of a real firearm, and it has a working trigger. So what happens as well, when that trigger breaks, it almost feels like it has a striker mechanism in it that makes the sound of a trigger breaking, and also the feel. You know, there is positive feel to the trigger when you pull it, and that takes us on to really what makes this thing work. What we're looking at right here is the LT Pro Laser. This acts somewhat like your normal bore sight would, except for the activation. The activation of this laser is triggered by sound and vibration. So if you insert this very small laser into the bore of the training gun, whenever you break the trigger, that sound and vibration triggers the laser to throw a pulse. So when it does that, it can actually be registered on the reaction time target. So let's take a second to look at that. So basically, again, this really works as a system. If you get the LT-TT, the blue gun that we spoke about, the LT Pro Laser, and then the TLB-RT Reaction Time Trainer targets, you really have a full-on system to practice dry firing or trigger manipulation, sight acquisition safely in the home without utilizing a real firearm. Now, with that being said, the laser, the LT Pro Laser, will fit into the bore of your firearm. So if you were wanting to do dry fire practice and look at what your point of impact is, or see or have visual indication on what's happening with your trigger when you're dry firing, it's an excellent opportunity to use that thing. It works. It's really cool. It doesn't just shoot a laser off. It gives you that pulse, which is actually interesting because I've found personally, when I did dry fire practice with bore sight lasers, for some reason your mind tricks yourself into manipulating that trigger and keeping it still to an extent, but you don't have that immediate pulse of when you're breaking the trigger to see what's happening with your form. So anyway, with that said, going into the reaction time trainer targets, these are run off little AAA batteries, and they have a couple different ways to utilize them. One way is just the on, which when you pulse the laser to it, it registers the hit. And the other is reaction time, which is really kind of fun, and that's really why my son really got into it. The reaction time mode, what happens is these little targets at a unpredictable moment will pulse a light in the target, and that's when you need to engage and break a shot onto the target. Now, when you do make a hit, when the laser pulses into this section, it will register that a hit has been made. So a couple things that we plan on doing with this in the future. One, we're going to put up the trigger manipulation marksmanship video. My son's actually going to be in that, and he's going to help show everybody, you know, how a 10-year-old can actually master trigger manipulation without moving their form or making an unexpected trigger break, which causes, you know, off shots. So that's going to be really cool. He's excited to do that. Another thing we plan on doing is with this reaction time target, you could actually take these targets and place them around the house strategically and really kind of have a fun training game where you can go through the house or have someone else go through the house with limited light or however you wanted to set it up, and keeping their eye open for a simulated threat by these pulsing the light. When they do that, you engage, break a shot, and see if you can hit. Now that's an interesting thing for some people to try and do. Though it's simulated and it can be somewhat of a game, you know, the fundamentals apply for that. That's why I really applaud Laserlyte for doing this. And you guys might see it that I'm kind of enthusiastic about this thing, but this is one of the coolest products I've played with in a while. You know, down to the point that the gun feels real. There's feedback from the trigger. It's got weight to it. The targets allow you to do some things that are fun to do, you know, so it makes what can be pretty boring dry fire practice into some pretty fun action type training, which, you know, the more training you can do, the better. The more entertaining the training is, the better. The better you can engage the other people in your household, like your children or your spouse or whoever else, into it. So just to give you guys a little look, I'll put it on the reaction time mode and let you watch it for a second. And you'll see at like a random time, the target will light up just like it did right there. And that's when you should engage. And you have about, I think it's about 2 or 3 seconds to engage it and register that hit. So there you have it, folks. I mean, really cool little system. We happen to have 2 of them. So the pistol, the reaction time targets, and the LT Pro laser. You know, you get this kit together as a system, and it's a really, really viable training opportunity and a good way to have some fun and try and build up your skills in the process. Again, Laserlyte products, you know, you guys probably know them from the lasers they put out, the bore sighting lasers they put out, among other things. Could not be happier with this stuff. Wicked cool. You will see this again. Probably by next weekend I'll have another video up where we're going to be doing some target tests. We'll also be doing the marksmanship or trigger manipulation video coming up with these. So these are going to be a staple for a little while, guys. If you got any questions about them, you know, make a comment. Let me know how I can help you. I could also hook you up with somebody at Laserlyte. They're more than willing to talk to you and try and get your questions answered. But again, I'm digging it. Love it. Thanks for stopping by, guys. Talk to you later.